Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX Bikes Progression Series, where today I am getting back into MX Bikes. Can you hardly believe it? Neither can I. It's taken me so long to do another MX Bikes video, I should say, on the channel, and for some reason I got the wild idea to jump right back into it with Supercross. I don't know why I decided to do it, but as you can tell, not going that great. Oh, it's reset me in the wrong spot. Yeah, this is Las Vegas 2018 track in MX Bikes. In game it's called Nevada 2018, but obviously it's just the Vegas Supercross track, and I can't really call it that, so call it Nevada 18. And yeah, this is also beta 9 for MX Bikes, so it's been so long since I played this game. I think it was like beta 5 last time I did a progression series, but I know you guys have been asking for me to play some more MX Bikes, and I know that I've been kind of away from the channel a lot lately, so I wanted to have a cool way to get back into making videos a little bit more consistently, and I figured MX Bikes would be a good selection because it's a game people don't see me play all that often, I guess, and then yeah, I don't know. Figured I'd go crazy today. MX Bikes, Supercross on MX Bikes. I'm probably going to be super terrible through most of this video, but if you can withstand it, I think it'll be kind of a good time. Already ran a couple laps on this track a couple days ago. Maybe was it yesterday now, or was it a couple days ago? I guess it was a couple days ago. So that's what the Ghost is that I'm going up against right now, is the lap I already did run on this track. And I'm playing in third person just because I feel like I'm getting a little bit better grasp of the game again in third person. I'll probably switch back to first person at some point, but just for the time being, it's a little bit easier for me to understand where everything is in third person, and I don't know. Just, like I said, kind of getting back into the swing of things. It's been, I guess, about 11 months since I even played this game, so it's been a good long while, and don't want to completely blow it here. I'm already kind of blowing it a little bit. So with the new betas to this game, a couple things that I feel like I can tell that are different with it is that like the fluidity of the game is a little bit better than it was. Like you can kind of not necessarily like control the bike a ton easier or anything like that, but it doesn't feel like it's kind of just going all over the place like it used to. At least when I played, that's what it used to do. And I'm not really showing that point off too well right now, but yeah, I'm not sure why I am suddenly sucking. Oh boy, this is a terrible spot to get stuck. But MX Bikes is extremely unique in comparison to most, I mean, even MX Simulator is guilty of this, in that you really do have to kind of try to think about how you'd ride a bike in real life. I can't just shift up and down like without actually letting off the gas and maybe even grabbing the clutch. Most of the time I'm hard shifting here just because it's what I'm used to from Sim, but you do have to occasionally actually use the clutch. Of course you have to use both brakes, but that's kind of a common thing in Sim 2, I guess. And then your rider controls are all manual inputs, so I'm turning the bars to get the bike seated into the corner, turning the rider to kind of get him a little bit more in a more opportune position to not get all wonky like that, and then the rest is kind of just finding a comfortable spot to move the rider to and get the bike going in the right direction. I was never really that good at this game when I was doing the progression series, and now that I've taken almost a year off from playing it, I'm sure that I just went back to square one anyway, but I don't know, I feel like I'm not as terrible as I'd expected to from taking so much time off from the game, and I definitely don't feel like I was this good on a Supercross track before, so my opinions on that is that it must just be because of the beta update has done a lot in improving the actual playability for a first-time player of the game. And if you're new to this series and you've never actually watched the MX Bikes Progression series here on SYS, I'll include a link to the game's website in the description below. You can go ahead and head over there yourself, try it out. It's technically speaking still in beta. It did appear on Steam this year as a upcoming title, but I never really saw if that was going to be official or if he's in this case Paboso, if he's like planning on releasing it officially this year, or what the deal is with that. All I know is what I know about the website, and yeah, you can go there and check it out and download tracks and skins and stuff like that. But I've mentioned that in this series before. This is really just because it's been such a long time off for me that I'm letting any people that haven't seen the series before get a chance to understand a little bit more about this game, and that although the physics do look a little wonky, it is a pretty cool concept for a game, and that, you know, the idea of taking like the fully simulated aspects of riding a motorcycle and putting it into a game is pretty cool. Like, yeah, MX Simulator does a decent job of doing this, but there are so many things that you do on a dirt bike that MX Simulator doesn't really get kind of close to ever needing to do. Like, you really do never use the clutch in MX Simulator except on a start, and in a corner it's useless. Shifting gears, it's useless. But in real life, you use the clutch a lot. Shifting, definitely using it in and out of corners, using it to, you know, stall the bike out in midair so you can brake tap or shift down in the air without having the engine just completely die on you and stuff like that. I'm a little too heavy-handed on the front brake in this game. That's my biggest problem. My front brake is on my left trigger. That's one thing that I did to kind of change it around a little bit, is that's actually backwards from my sim setup, which is my back brake on my left trigger and my front brake on my right bumper. I switched those in this game now so that I have a little bit more range of motion with the front brake usage. I figured that was the better move, because you want to be able to actually kind of leverage your front brake in this game to slow yourself down. Whereas the rear brake, you can kind of just slide it in. Like, I'll come over this jump right here. I'll land a little too heavy. Let me do that in the first corner, actually. So my rear brake is a button, so I can just come in and literally lock up the rear brake and kind of slide all the way into the corner. But it doesn't get me stopped near as fast as using the front brake to kind of get down into the corner and get seated where you want, which is very realistic to a real life dirt bike. Of course, I'd imagine most of you watching this video have ridden a dirt bike in real life, but if you haven't, I mean, it's 80-20 or 90-10 on how useful the front brake is to the rear brake is in real life. The rear brake is definitely a lot more useful when getting the bike to kind of sit into a corner where you want it to. Maybe you know, kind of outbraked yourself a little bit. You're coming in a little hot into a corner, but you just still need to try to make an inside rut. Grabbing a handful of rear brake and trying to slide the rear end into the corner might help with that a little bit more. That's not to say you don't use your rear brake ever, except in those situations. You definitely still use it, but the front brake really gives you a lot more stopping power on a street bike too, but a dirt bike in this case definitely helps a lot more with the front brakes. So that's why I switched that up. My shifting is still in the same spot as it was before, which is Y is up, X is down. I'm using an Xbox 360 controller, so that's the setup with that. Obviously throttle's in the pretty noticeable spot, I would imagine. What else can I tell you about it? Let me go back to first person riding a little bit so I can see what this view's like a little bit again. When I was doing this series before, and I got 5 episodes deep in the progression series before I cut the ties, if you will. What's my tear off button? Select? No, that's it. Start? Yeah, okay, so he does actually still do the tear off thing. That's actually cool now that I didn't notice, but in the latest updates they actually added the whole, the hand actually reaches up and does the tear off maneuver, which I think is pretty cool. Ooh, because you can kind of do that in the air, do that in the ground. I already forgot what button it is. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Ah, boy, I'm rusty. Oh my goodness. I honestly do feel a little bit bad that I even do this series in the first place, just because while I know that, you know, I'm fortunate to have a long reach with the YouTube channel being as successful as it has been, I don't want to make this game look bad, and I certainly feel like I am, because I can't do it justice by not riding very well. But that's also the reason why I decided to do the whole progression series, was to sort of track my progress through the game, and I know I took a very long hiatus from that, but to show you that it's doable, even if you don't know what you're doing in the game, you can still get good at it. And yeah, maybe it'll entice some of you out there watching to purchase this game. And if you don't purchase it, you can at least sit here and laugh at me literally crashing on every straightaway. Because sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta just laugh at yourself and move right along. 1:22.5 is not a good lap time. That was definitely not the lap times those guys are running at the real life Vegas Supercross. Taking it easy. Alright, I want to get a tear off on this Supercross triple. Here we go. Nice. Oh, and just wrecked myself on the tough blocks. That's so cool though, the whole tear off thing. That is really... That's a never been done. An NBD is one of my YouTube favorites, Johnny Geiger would call it. In motocross games is the hand to the face for the tear off. I think you could pull a tear off in some other motocross games before. I'm trying to think if Honda Sokoly and GP did that or not. But never the reach up with your hand and make that maneuver to actually pull a tear off. It's the subtleties in this game that it makes it really cool. And for a little while there, in episode 4 and 5 of this series, obviously this is episode 6, I was getting a little good at whips, and you can do some pretty decent whips in this game. Not like crazy nicely looking or anything, because the body movements don't necessarily do the right things when it comes to whipping. But like the bike and the turn down aspects of it and all that, like I'll try to do it in third person here. Let's see. Yeah, like that's not that bad of a looking whip. I mean, like I said, it's really just the rider movement that makes it look a little strange, but yeah, it's actually a pretty good lap here. Man, I'm just breaking down lap times here, doing little whipper tails too. See, all I needed to do was hit the record button and just play. I was building myself too much in my head here, thinking, you know, I really need to feel comfortable with the game again. It's the 6th episode of the series, so these guys are gonna just pick on me if I'm terrible. And apparently my last lap time didn't even count, so that's really crappy because I felt like that was a pretty good lap. Oh well, we're gonna have to try to beat it this time. Go third gear through the whoops here. Shift down a second. Get this on off smooth if I can. Oof. Brake hard for the corner. Alright, this is a pretty good lap so far. Pretty pumped on it. Oh, this isn't good at the end though. Oh, getting a little sketch. There it is. Now that felt like a pretty good lap. Very curious to know what that lap time was. Almost tucked the front wheel, but we're good, we're good. We're good, boys. I feel like this is a pretty good end of the sesh here. A little 15-minute action MX Bikes once again. Fun to be playing it. Look at that, 1:07.1. Improved my lap time by 15 seconds in this video alone. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna... You know, I was gonna send it to flat there, but pretty much just ended up yard sailing on my own. So yeah, MX Bikes Progression Series, episode number 6. We're back at it. We're back hammering it down. I apologize that I've been so kind of MIA these last couple of weeks with videos, but been really hard at work on something that I can't say much about yet, but I'm sure you guys will be stoked on eventually. And then, yeah, just a couple other really fun things coming up that I'm excited to announce soon, but not quite yet. But thanks for watching MX Bikes, episode 6 of the Progression Series here on Starter Systems, and hit up that description if you guys want to learn more about this game. Like I said, very cool concept and worth a look at the very least. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.